Good evening, students. How are you all? Before going to start today's topic, I have few lines for you. सिखाता वक्त भी है और शिक्षक भी सिखाते हैं. फ़र्क दोनों में इतना है कि शिक्षक या टीचर सिखाकर परीक्षा लेते हैं या सिखाने के बाद परीक्षा लेते हैं और वक्त परीक्षा लेकर सिखाता है. धन्यवाद. With these lines, I would like to start today's very interesting topic of class 12th, unit 1st, reproduction in organisms. Each and every organisms live only for a certain period of time. So what we call this period? Yeah, the period between birth and natural death of an organism is called lifespan. It is not related to the size of an organism. For example, when I am talking about the lifespan of a crow, it is approximately 15 years, and parrot, it is of 140 years. Similarly, mango can live for 200 years, people, Ficus religiosa, 2500 years, banyan tree, Ficus bengalensis, it can live for 500 years. So no individual is immortal. Every individual who has taken birth on this planet Earth, that organism will die after some time. But there are exceptions like unicellular organism, amoeba, they are immortal. Why we are saying immortal? Because they are reproducing by asexual mode of reproduction. So then what is reproduction? Yeah, you all know that it is a biological process in which organisms is giving rise to young ones or the offsprings, or organisms produce the individuals of their own kind. It is called reproduction. This reproduction, although is not essential for the survival of the organism, but it is very essential for the survival or for the continuity of the species on this planet Earth. If particular species fail to reproduce, then what will happen? Yes, of course, that particular species will be extinct from this planet. So then, when we talk about reproduction, it is simply asexual and sexual. So when I'm talking about asexual, it means only one parent is involved, there is no fusion of gamete. And when I'm talking about sexual, it means there is a fusion of gametes will take place. And when we want to discuss this in detail, when we talk about asexual reproduction, in asexual reproduction only mitosis division will take place. We know that mitosis is a division in which parent cell is divided into two daughter cells, and here there is a no reductional division, no chromosome number is reduced. This is taken place in asexual reproduction. Meiosis does not occur in asexual reproduction. And the term clone we are using for the organisms which are morphologically and genetically similar or exact carbon copies of the parents. This asexual reproduction can take place by different ways, like fission. When we talk about fission, simply splitting of the organism into two or more daughter individuals. It can be binary fission in case of amoeba, in case of paramecium, in case of euglena. And when we talk about, it can be multiple fission in the case of plasmodium. Plasmodium, you know that this is a malarial parasite, this is a protozoan. And what will happen, the nucleus of this plasmodium will divide, it will form many nuclei. There is outer covering which is called cyst is formed on it, and under the favorable condition it will burst and it will release large number of yeast or large number of plasmodium. And when we talk about yeast, there is a budding takes place in yeast. In hydra also budding will takes place, and gammules in sponges. Then we have also heard about the term vegetative propagation. It is the properties of a plant that any of the vegetative part which is other than reproductive part is having a power to germinate or power to grow into a new organism, new plant. This is called as vegetative propagation, such as runner, rhizomes, sucker, tuber, offset, bulb are capable of giving rise to new offsprings. For example, stem of tuber like potatoes, bulbs in garlic, onion shoot, corms in colocasia, rhizomes in ginger, suckers in mint, offset in Econia. Econia is also called as Terror of Bengal. It has choked so many water bodies. Initially, it has been imported from different outer countries for the beautiful flower which it is having and its beauty, and it has now populated so many water bodies. So, what are the events in sexual reproduction? When we talk about sexual reproduction, we know there is a fusion of gametes will takes place when we talk about sexual reproduction. So, these male gametes are produced by male parents, female gametes are produced by female parents, and then there is a fusion which result in the formation of zygote, then embryogenesis. This is the whole process which is taking place. And this is simply divided into pre-fertilization event, fertilization and post-fertilization. So when we talk about pre-fertilization, we simply say formation of gamete. This is called gametogenesis. In some organism, these gametes are very similar to each other. They are called isogametes. And when we talk about, there are some organisms where there is a different in the gametes, like sperms in human beings and eggs in female. Males in males we have sperms, and in female it is egg. They are totally different from each other. Then there is a term which is called homothallic or monoecious. They are used to denote bisexual condition. Heterothallic or dioecious is used to denote unisexual conditions. And whenever there is a unisexual male flower, it is called staminate, and there is a unisexual female flower, it is called pistillate. We know that stamen is a male reproductive part of a flower and pistil is a female reproductive part of a flower. In animals, male or females, when they are different, we call them as unisexual, and when male and female both are present in one organism, we call them as bisexual, or we use a term, very technical term, this is hermaphrodite, like in earth form. Then there are different kind of organisms which shows different kind of haploid body sometime, like algae, fungi, bryophytes, and pteridophyte, gymnosperm, angiosperms. And animals, they have diploid parental body. Gamete mother cells will give rise to gametes. Then there is another process which is gamete transfer. Gamete should be transferred from male to female, and in plant we talk this process as pollination. Transfer of the pollen grain from anther of a flower to the stigma of flower. It can be we can say self-pollination, cross-pollination. We will discuss this in detail in second chapter. And when we talk about, there is another process which is called fertilization, where male and female gametes are fused together. And sometime while in some organism like rotifers, honeybees, some lizard, turkey, female gamete undergoes the development to form the new organism without fertilization. This is called parthenogenesis. Then this fertilization can be external when takes place outside the body of a female, and internal fertilization like in human beings, reptiles, birds, when it takes place inside the female body. Then what is post-fertilization event? After the fusion of male and female gamete, when zygote is formed, this zygote will further develop. This process is called embryogenesis. Embryogenesis, for example, in human beings, this is called gestation period of 9 months. After the 9 month, the female is giving birth to a child. Then it can be in oviparous organism and viviparous. When we talk about oviparous reptile birds, their fertilized egg is covered with hard calcareous cell to protect the organism, and in viviparous there is a development of the organism takes place in the female body. In flowering plant, when we talk about this zygote develop into embryo and ovule which is there, which is forming the seeds, and ovary will form the fruits. We will discuss all these things, reproduction in plants and reproductions in animals, human beings, in detail in the forthcoming chapters. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. So kindly like this video also if you have enjoyed it, and I hope I have tried to clear as much as possible in these topics, and you can also refer to the write-ups which I have shared in the video. So thank you so much.